Looking for these better days.
It is Tuesday, January 20th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. The Indiana Hoosiers, 16-0 national champions of the college football season. A 27-21 win over Miami last night in the national championship game, and we cleaned up on betterday.com. So Indiana gets the win, but they do not cover. We'll break that down. Plus, an exciting day of basketball. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Saw some unders early, which we always love to bet on those standalone early under games. We'll talk about it all here on this edition of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. Mackenzie Rivers joins me as always. And Mac, we start with last night's Indiana win over Miami. And if not for Elijah Surratt, the Indiana wide receiver, we would have swept our same game parlay. All the props we gave out did hit besides Surratt. Malachi Toney, 10 catches for 122 receiving yards. Mark Fletcher, the running back of Miami, had 17 carries for 112 yards and 2 scores. And Miami covers the spread, losing by 6 against Indiana. A near perfect national championship game for us up on betterday.com.
Yeah, and I think Miami could have won the game and Surratt would have gone over if Indiana was pressing if it weren't for that blocked punt. So to cover as a 7.5-point dog with the blocked punt tells you you're on the right side. Miami more total yards, really a coin flip game. If anything, they played a little better.
Yeah, and I thought that at the end of the first half, I really thought that Mario Cristobal dropped the ball. It was a 10-0 game, and they had a 4th and 2, and he elected to kick a field goal at the end of the first half.
Goal. Yep.
Yeah, 50-yard field goal, doinks off the upright, and it's missed. Now, I get it because, and this is, some people might be listening to this and be like, Scott, I've listened to you thousands of times where you say, take the points, give your team a win, give your team a win. Yes, I do agree with that. However, here's what you do in that situation. It's 4th and 2. You line up and you do a hard count and you see if you can get them to jump off sides. When they don't jump off sides, then you call a timeout. And then you can decide if you want to kick it or go back out there and go for it. I would have gone back out there and gone for it because then you do a hard count again and then the Indiana defensive line is actually at a slight disadvantage because they don't want to jump off sides. So your offensive line actually gets a little bit of a head start, and you should be able to pick up the 2 yards with Fletcher and continue that drive. What do you think about that call, Mackenzie?
I mean, I don't know the difference in college. I'm used to the pros calibration, but with 33 seconds on the clock, going from like a 50-50 field goal, you get 1 first down, it's like an 80% field goal. Like the curve makes a 10-yard gain, exponentially more valuable, especially because you don't give the other team a possession. Indiana could have scored. They ended up not using those 33 seconds, but plenty of time to try to guarantee your ball, having the ball at the end of the half.
Yeah, and just knowing that Indiana was going to get the first possession of the third quarter, I would have liked to have seen Cristobal be aggressive there and try and come away with a touchdown at the end of the half. It was 4th and 2.
Plenty of time.
Should be able to pick that up, or at least go out there and do a hard count and see if you can draw Indiana off sides. Now, on the other side, there was several opportunities where Kirk Signetti was aggressive, including the 4th down call in which he elected to not kick a field goal up 17-14, and he goes for it where Fernando Mendoza gets a 12-yard rushing touchdown. Great designed play, by the way, on the quarterback draw. And that was a spot where I agreed, be aggressive there. Now, I disagreed with his decision to kick the field goal at the end of the game because it was the same situation. You went for it on 4th and 5. Why wouldn't you go for it on 4th and 4? And I get it. If you kick the field goal, you're forcing Miami to score a touchdown to beat you, as opposed to if you go for it on 4th down and you don't get it, all they need to do is get into field goal range to tie the game. But in that situation, you still don't lose the game. At worst case scenario, you're just going into overtime. And for 4 yards to pick up to win the national championship, I thought that was the opportunity where Indiana should have gone for it because let's do the Fez exercise, right? If you're Mario Cristobal, if you're Miami, what do you want them to do? You're begging them to kick a field goal because you're begging them to just kick the football off with 1:40 left, and you know that you need a touchdown to win the game.
Yes, information is king for all of these decisions, and if you do go for it and don't get it, there's so much more likely Miami is to kick a field goal on the other end, because you know that you have to prevent a touchdown, and it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement that they're going to give up yards and not points and give you a field goal. So you almost guaranteed overtime. What really is surprising is that they went for you're right. It's the exact same scenario. The chance to go up 2 touchdowns is like essentially the chance to win the game, and they said, all right, we'll just have one stop to win it. They ended up pulling it out.
Yeah, and I thought Carson Beck, it's funny, the timing of my tweets last night was hilarious because I tweeted out how poised and calm that Carson Beck looked on that final drive.
Grizzled college veteran.
Yeah, and Kirk Herbstreit kept saying it on the broadcast. This is where the 43 starts comes into play here. And, like, that's right. Like, he had 43 starts, and he did look poised up until the bad decision to throw that ball there that winds up getting intercepted at the end. And so Miami wins the national championship 27-21. They win but don't cover, but they finish the season undefeated. What a run it has been for Kurt Signetti. What a run it was for Miami. I mean, for Miami, yeah, just in the playoff, uncertainty about them getting into the playoff. They certainly held their own. The Big Ten now has won 3 consecutive national championships.
SEC who?
So congratulations. Yeah, congratulations to the Big Ten. And, congratulations to all of our followers up on betterday.com. If you want to find out how to become a Better Day Insider or Premium member, click on the link in our homepage to learn how to elevate your betting game. Mackenzie, we finished the college football season up on betterday.com, and this is every pick documented, 100% transparent. The wins are there, the losses are there. You can see who made every pick. We finished the college football season up on betterday.com. Now, we just launched, obviously, our subscription tiers in December, and we launched the website as a whole, like, in September. So we are still a new entity, but you know us, we are not new. But our final record for college football, 100% documented up on the website, 46 wins, 17 losses, 1 push, up 27 units. That is 72% on the picks, Mackenzie, up 27 units for the college football season.
Essentially,
I tweeted it out last night.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I tweeted it out last night. Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it existed.
50% ROI, essentially. For every dollar you bet, you got $1.50 at the end of the season. So what are we going to do for college basketball is essentially the question. Because college is the place where the pros seem to triangulate the most angles on a daily basis.
Yes, we are in the works with some college football stuff that we will be bringing to you guys, not just up on betterday.com, but also for our insider and premium members. So college basketball picks will be coming fast and furious. And I said this when I signed off on the BetUS TV college football show yesterday, which we as a whole, I mean, we cashed so many props on that show. We even cashed the Fernando Mendoza anytime touchdown at plus 350, and then cashing the props that I gave out up on betterday.com. Kyle Hunter gave out the first quarter under, which cashed, and then credit to Josh Nunn, who had the Cooper receptions props, and that was an easy cash for him. So we had a great season up on that show, and I ended the show by saying this simple line, Mackenzie: 221 days until week 0.
The prep begins.
221 days until week 0 of the 2026 college football season. We hope you guys can join us for that. Again, to find out how to become a Better Day Insider or Premium member, just click on the link on our homepage at betterday.com where it says elevate your betting game and become a Better Day Insider or Premium member today. Let's talk NFL news, Mackenzie, because we had some big news yesterday. Yep. The Buffalo Bills firing their head coach, Sean McDermott. 9 seasons, 0 Super Bowls, multiple overtime losses, multiple playoff losses, obviously, blown leads in the playoffs.
Yep.
Was this the right decision?
It's very interesting that it coincides with them elevating Brandon Beede into like president and czar of all things Buffalo Bills, because it's a recognition that this has been a very successful tenure. This has been a great 8 years. They've won like 91 games, a record for anyone over a decade winning that many games and not making a Super Bowl. So I think it is. It's a reset without a complete retooling. And I mean, they've already changed the offensive coordinator a bunch of times. They scored 30 points in Denver. Joe Brady seems, I don't know if he's going to stick on with the next guy, but it seems like it had to be institutional. So it's hard to say it's the right choice. I mean, he did fine. He did as well as anybody, not named Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan over the last 7 years. But yeah, I understand the decision. I'll say that.
Do you think they bring in an offensive coach or a defensive coach?
I think they bring in an offensive coach. The everyone has been saying, and it worked in the Jacksonville game, didn't work in the Broncos game. Well, it's just going to be Josh Allen putting the cape on and being Josh Allen at the end of the day. And that really has been their offense. I think that's limiting. I think the best quarterback in the world, whether it's him or Patrick Mahomes or Drake May, anybody will benefit from scripted, easy plays. I think there's a lot of coaches that think they'll be able to get that with Josh Allen.
The name that everybody is talking about, who is the second betting favorite right now, the first favorite to get the job is Clint Kubiak. So before I bring up the name that everybody's talking about, what do you think of Clint Kubiak?
I thought Clint Kubiak was a revelation in New Orleans. He obviously is doing his thing in Seattle. They're about to make the Super Bowl, I think. I rather, Mike Shanahan get the job, but, I think Clint Kubiak is more in his prime to go ahead and take it over.
The second favorite, and this is the name that everybody's talking about, former Bills offensive coordinator, former New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll. We saw what Daboll did, pretty much creating Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, in a lab. Yep.
Do you think a reunion there makes sense, and Brian Daboll becomes the head coach of the Buffalo Bills?
It makes sense to an extent. He's definitely the kind of coach I would hire, and I think he's still really well regarded as an offensive mind. But we've seen that script before. I think he eventually kind of relied on Josh Allen being the Superman, and I think maybe a Mike McDaniel or somebody just with a different scheme, something that's like we know Josh Allen can do. Brian Daboll can say, go do that. Maybe there's other offensive coaches that can do something we haven't seen before with Josh Allen.
Their current offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, is next on the list. So that's somebody that people obviously think could be a natural transition, right? Possibly. Let's see. Other names that are on the list, according to this one book, Davis Webb, who is interesting. I feel like Davis Webb I feel like he hasn't been out of the league long. He's the passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach there for the Denver Broncos. But I feel like this guy just played a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I thought he was a third string quarterback on the Cardinals or something.
He's 30 years old.
Wow.
I guess. Cool. Davis Webb is getting a lot of looks here as the possible next head coach.
This is by far the best job.
Cool.
We said that with New York Giants. We said that with Baltimore Ravens. This is better. I mean, this team was just about favored in the divisional championship game on the road, essentially.
Yeah. Yep. Other coaching news around the league, we have a hire in Miami as the new Miami Dolphins head coach is former Packers defensive coordinator, former Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley gets the job leading the Miami Dolphins. What do you think of that decision?
I feel like your offense is very limited by the $150 million left on Tua's contract. So this is kind of a way to be well, let's just pause, put a pin in the offense. We'll figure that out 3 years from now when we have some more cash to spend. And Tyreek Hill and Tua and everybody's off our books. And he's proven to be one of the better defensive minds in the league. The Packers defense was way better than expectations each of the last 2 years. So it makes sense.
Yeah. And I do like that the guy has years of head coaching experience, right? Like he was the he had a very successful tenure as the head coach at Boston College, and he decided to return to the NFL. One, because Matt LaFleur called him, but also because he wanted no part of like the NIL world that exists in college football now. And so he decided to take a run at the NFL, and it proved to be a good decision because now he's getting an NFL head coaching job. A question that many people have floated out. Do you think that he brings Malik Willis with him to be the next Dolphins quarterback?
What are they going to do with the $150 million left onto his contract? I mean, maybe you can, like the way they brought in someone to replace Kirk Cousins. They brought in someone to replace Aaron Rodgers even. There's ways to do it. So, yeah, maybe Malik Willis is definitely going to be cheap enough to fit under the gun, even with Tua's contract on the books.
Here are the betting favorites to land the other open head coaching opportunities. Vance Joseph is the favorite to land the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job
Didn't
with
he
Robert Saleh. Yeah, Robert Saleh is the second favorite. Yeah, Robert Saleh is the second favorite. What do you think?
I would hate to see him go. I would kind of love to see him in division. I feel like that would be like an easy 2 wins every year. No offense to Saleh. But I mean, what is he going to show us that we haven't seen before? I guess it's pretty. It's shots taken.
Do you remember? Was it during COVID or was it just like because it was the ESPN Deportes reporter that froze on air, and he was like a replacement reporter. He was like this young kid during like the international game or something, and he was like, Vance Joseph is having the time of his life.
What a time to learn English.
No, but like just the way he said it, he was like he froze and he was like, he's having the time of his life.
Yeah, I remember that broadcast.
Favorite to land the Ravens head coaching job is Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator there with the Chargers. Clint Kubiak is the second favorite. Robert Saleh also up on their list as well. Clint Kubiak's the favorite to land the Raiders job with Davis Webb as the second favorite. Browns head coaching job, Greg Udinsky is the favorite. That's the offensive coordinator there in Jacksonville. Jim Schwartz, the current DC, is the second favorite. Mike McDaniel, the third favorite.
What about
Matt
Sean McDermott?
Nagy. Where do you think he lands? Well, here he has popped up on the list here.
Okay.
Matt Nagy is the favorite to land the Titans head coaching job, right? With Robert Saleh as the second favorite and Sean McDermott as the third favorite. And then Chris Shula is the favorite to land the Steelers job with Brian Flores and then Mike McCarthy and Sean McDermott behind him there.
At the beginning of this year, if you said who's the better coach or who's going to be the better coach over the next 10 years, John Harbaugh or Sean McDermott, I don't think it'd be like a slam dunk that Harbaugh is just a better coach. I feel like McDermott should be just as prized as Harbaugh was, where it seemed like he could have got any job he wants. I'm surprised. Like if you're John Harbaugh, do you wish you would have taken the Bills job or gotten the opportunity to? Like that's so much better than the freaking Giants job. I mean, maybe you disagree. I don't know.
No, because I think like if whoever takes this Bills job, if they don't win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, like their coaching tenure is going to be a failure. Because you don't have like Josh Allen's window's like going to close soon, right? And you're going to be in the salary cap hell. They already had issues with that. Yeah. Like you need to win now. Like you're going into a new stadium. The fans are going to be, obviously clamoring for wins. Yeah. The organization needs to make money. They need to sell all those PSLs and whatnot. I don't even know if they're doing that there in that new Highmark Stadium. But
you got to pay for tennis lessons for the old girl, for the owner's daughter.
Yes.
There's a lot to do.
Yes, you got a lot to do. Yeah, it's funny. It's like the owner's daughter has won more titles than his football team, or no, it's their niece. It's their niece, Pegula, right? Or is it their daughter?
Oh, by the way, breaking news: ESPN Titans are working to finalize Robert Saleh as their new head coach. So going out of division.
No Matt Nagy.
Yeah, no Matt Nagy.
So no Matt Nagy. That's interesting because I had heard that Matt Nagy was like, it was such a done deal that the Chiefs were already like coming into like they were already like bringing in Eric Bieniemy and whatnot. But yeah, no, yeah, you're right. As we were, Titans finalizing a deal with Robert Saleh to be their next head coach. Congratulations.
They had the GM, one of the GMs was a former 49ers guy. They seem to just love what we're doing in San Francisco.
So the last four head coaching hires, the new hires,
All defensive.
Robert Saleh. No, but that's true. No,
never mind.
well, not Stefanski, right?
Not Stefanski.
Yeah, but they're all prior head coaching experience. Like Jeff Hafley coached at BC, obviously, but Saleh with the Jets, Harbaugh, of course, and Stefanski. So these are all like guys that have head coaching experience. No team has hired like a first-time head coach yet.
Right.
Which is interesting because we saw the success this year with two first-time head coaches in Ben Johnson and Liam Cohn.
Yeah, and Mike McDaniel's only in his second year. He's the favorite to win the Super Bowl. It's kind of surprising.
Mike McDonald, you mean? Yeah.
Mike McDonald, I meant that. I wonder if Mike McDaniel's kind of the opposite example of what a new head coach can do with a lot of flash and then new coach needed in a couple of years. There's going to be 11 teams with a coach that's new to them next year. I think that's a record. I think the previous record was 10 at least over the last 15 years when I track it. So I wonder if they're just going kind of like safe, trying to just get somebody in that's going to be recognized as not a bad coach like Robert Saleh. Or Jeff, like that's why you get someone with previous experience. Like you're not trying to get the hot name at this point.
Yeah, I thought this Matt Nagy thing was such a done deal, and like the Chiefs were going to bring back Eric Bieniemy to be their offensive coordinator to replace Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy, that's 2018 coach of the year.
But that was all over the news today, was that the Chiefs are going to bring back Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator because Matt Nagy was getting a head coaching job. Maybe. So now if Matt Nagy's not the head coach in Tennessee, like does he go back to the Kansas City Chiefs or does he get a head coaching job somewhere else? And there's
so many jobs.
Does Matt Nagy get the job in Buffalo? Do you bring in Patrick Mahomes' guy to be Josh Allen's head coach?
I could see it.
What do you think?
I mean, and you have your pick of the litter. I don't know. 2018 coach of the year.
Job available.
Maybe he is the best candidate available in their eyes.
But how do you beat Patrick Mahomes? Well, you hire the guy who calls his plays, and you figure out how to beat him, right? And they did use a Chiefs play, by the way. That Mecole Hardman touchdown was the exact same play that Hardman scored for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, where he did the stop motion.
Yep.
Right, where he went in motion and then reverted back. So Joe Brady already copying Kansas City Chiefs plays. So yeah, that would be very interesting if it is Matt Nagy getting the job there in Buffalo.
Who's the best candidate right now? You think? Who's the
best head coaching candidate?
I mean, it's hard to say McDermott because he was fired yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think Mike McCarthy. Because I'd never really liked Mike McCarthy. And every time his name came up with jobs, I was always like his name came up with the Jets and other jobs. I'm like, I just don't see it. Can I say Mike Tomlin? I mean, right. He's not coaching this year, but he's not taking any jobs. But it would be Mike Tomlin, for a team maybe in 2027.
I think it's Clint Kubiak. I think that's he's the type of coach that has succeeded. Calls his own plays. I think that's the safest pick right now. He succeeded in two different conferences or two different teams already.
Now, do you think wherever he goes, Gary becomes an advisor or some sort of front office executive in charge of scouting and player development or something?
Maybe informally.
Do you bring in Gary Kubiak?
I mean, I know my uncle's very excited to get this little VHS of the San Francisco 49ers practice tape, and he'll send in his thoughts, but it's a different generation. That's really leading edge.
And his brother is a coordinator also, right? Or is
his brother's offensive coordinator of the Niners, so you get even more of that secret sauce, or at least
exactly
secret insider tips.
So maybe Clay Kubiak, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you get Clint Kubiak gets a head coaching job, and then no, he wouldn't hire his brother because Clint calls the plays anyway, so he wouldn't want, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that
you never
sounds like hell. They actually say in general sibling relationships, if you have the same job as your sibling, it's a very contentious, not fun relationship. If you're in a different industry,
Well, yeah, that's why
you love each other. Like you and your brother. He's like, he takes us around the Orleans. He shows us everything he's doing. It's nice.
Well, that's why Mike LaFleur is not the offensive coordinator for the Packers.
Yeah,
He's
no,
the offensive coordinator for the Rams.
They don't even talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Matt's like, go coach somebody else, dude.
Yeah, we hate you.
Yeah. All right, plenty more NFL coming up later on in the week as we get ready for Championship Sunday. Let's talk about what we saw in the NBA yesterday on MLK Day and also on the ice, including a system play coming up for tonight.
Every Friday from 6 to 7:30, it's NBA Happy Hour on FanDuel, your pregame for the weekend. We're talking limited time specials you won't want to miss. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all dropping in the app during happy hour. So before tip-off, check the FanDuel app to see the week's special. Then, make your move before the shot clock expires at 7:30 Eastern. It's the perfect way to start your weekend. A little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour, every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. Or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccp.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
We had Martin Luther King Jr. Day matinees in the NBA yesterday, and if you were keeping score at home, because we were betting these games, the early games followed a very similar trend that we have seen over the past several Martin Luther King Jr. days, and just in general on early start times, Mackenzie. The first game of the day, Milwaukee-Atlanta goes under. Second game of the day, OKC Cleveland should have gone under, but there was how many points scored in the fourth quarter? 70 points scored in the fourth quarter, including 20 points in like the final 2 minutes to make this thing go over. The next game, Clippers and Washington went under. Dallas and the Knicks went under. Spurs and Utah went under. Philly and Indy went under. And then you had the night games, which, a couple went over, a couple went under. But the unders on the MLK Day games, cash cow, Mackenzie.
Yeah, and it's all about disruption. Early start times, thousands of games, 55% unders. So you're not going to do terribly betting them blind. But on MLK Day especially, you have maybe more people going out, more time, just more disruption. It seems different for these players. And all you need is one quarter. Like you mentioned, 70 points in Thunder Cavs, which blew our under. It was not good. There was also 70 points scored exactly in the fourth quarter of Bucks Hawks. But because there was 39 points scored in the first quarter, there was almost nothing that can happen short of overtime to lead us over. Same thing with Mavericks Knicks. It was pretty much an over game except for one quarter with only 42 points scored. There's like these record scratch moments, I think, that are much more likely in these holidays or early start times or just odd times in general.
Yeah, and we are reaching that time of the year now where it's post-football season, right? Where we're going to start to get these Saturday and Sunday early start times in the NBA. And I think we actually have one this Saturday. We have a noon game on ABC between the Knicks and the Sixers coming up this Saturday. So we're going to start, is it a noon? No, I'm sorry, it's a noon Pacific game, but still, it's still an early time. It's still a
3 o'clock Eastern. It's generally like linear.
3 o'clock
like
Eastern time.
The more early, the better. Like the best early bet was the earliest game on Monday's slate.
Yes.
Also, the first halves we should mention. 5-1 out of the first 6 went under. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
the disruption is most evident in the first half.
Yeah, in those the three early times, even that one game that went over with OKC, all three first halves went under. So that was the way to play it. If you wanted to just be safe and just go with if you didn't like the full game unders because of the variance that could happen there with the backups coming in and chucking threes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thunder.
Not like 30, you had a 6-leg parlay
30,
that was one leg away or anything.
I know. I did. I sprinkled pizza money, guys. What are you gonna do, right? I took instead of buying my Starbucks yesterday, I went ahead and I did all three of the early games, first half unders, full game unders, and it went 5-1. And the only loss was that Thunder Cleveland game that went over because of, as I mentioned, 70 points scored in the fourth quarter. Literally, it was it was 231.5, right? And even if, I guess if you bet it overnight, you got it at 235.5, which like would have been a better number, but it still went over. Yeah. But at 231.5, it was 221 with less than 2 minutes left. And so I'm thinking, okay, OKC's up 30 points, right? They're just going to dribble the clock out and let's just get out of here with a win. But I'm watching the play-by-play and it's three-pointer,
Swish.
Three-pointer again, three consecutive threes, and then it was layup and then another three-pointer. Next thing you know, there's like 20 points scored in the final 2 minutes of the game. It was absurd. Let's take a look at the schedule tonight here, Mackenzie, in the NBA, as we got the Suns at the Sixers. Philly, a 1.5-point favorite at home. I know you have kind of started to turn the corner here with Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Suns on a back-to-back. You might say, well, is playing Brooklyn a game? Recently it has been with Michael Porter Jr., and that was a fourth quarter game. I think the Sixers are a better team with more rest. I don't understand this line. I lean to the Sixers. They should be favored by 3.
All right. Clippers also playing on the back-to-back after the Sixers are also playing the back-to-back because they beat the Pacers. But you have also on the back-to-back the Clippers who are playing the Bulls, Chicago 3.5-point favorites.
5 for 28 against the Wizards. Just bad luck, I think. And they still won the game. They're still scrapped it together. I feel like the Clippers are due for a better shooting performance in the United Center.
Clippers were 5 of 28 from three-point range?
And we didn't cover by 3 points. Very frustrating.
Yeah. My goodness. Spurs are at the Rockets. This is your NBC/Peacock game. Houston, 3.5-point favorites. Mackenzie, what do you think?
I really like this play. I'm on Houston. I think the way San Antonio wants to aggravate you, the way they aggravated the Thunder with their big guards and fast pace, the Rockets are just ready for that. I think they're ready to elbow some people, make Victor Wembanyama, not seem like a center like he sometimes doesn't seem. This line says they're essentially the same teams because the Spurs are on the second night of a back-to-back and the Rockets are not. I think the Rockets by themselves are a 1.5 better, and I think the matchup specifically leans their way at home. So I'm laying it with the Rockets.
Okay. We'll post the picks up on betterday.com as we'll go through the rest of the slate here coming up later on today. Maybe updated power ratings from Mackenzie Rivers. We'll get you that NBA content up on betterday.com. Tonight in the NHL, we do have somewhat of a system play, Mackenzie. And this system is just going to be titled Rangers Suck, okay? This season, the New York Rangers, playing on the second night of a back-to-back, are 0-7, and all 7 of their games have gone under the posted
We call that
total.
The Josh Allen corollary. Josh Allen in overtime corollary.
The Josh Allen overtime corollary. So the Kings tonight they're minus 200 favorites, minus 192 I see out there in the market. Total's at 5.5. We could see this bet up and it could get to 6 or maybe 6.5 later on today. So maybe wait on that. But we're gonna go with the Kings and the under. Maybe it's a Rangers team total under play. Yep. Let's like go under 2.5 for the Rangers team total. Sure. And then as a corollary, maybe it's Kings minus 1.5 goals. But we will be fading the Rangers tonight as they are 0-7 on the second night of a back-to-back, and they are 7-0 to the under in those games.
So
top 25 college hoops.
Sorry, you have 3 plays. You can kind of pick your own risk profile. If you Want to be very safe, go Rangers team total under. You feel a little bit spicy, you can go the game under and the Rangers, or you could parlay it together if you're feeling like guaranteed.
Yep. We do have a system play in college basketball tonight, and that is with the lower-ranked team, the team with the higher number, as the home favorite against the higher-ranked team, the team with the lower number. So Arkansas, the number 20 team in the nation, is a 1.5-point home favorite against number 15 Vanderbilt. So you have number 20 favored over number 15. This is the OG system, if you will, and it's one that has been profitable over several years. This year has gotten off to a great start as well. So we are going with Arkansas minus the 1.5 here in the college basketball OG system, Mackenzie.
Let's go. Makes sense. They're disrespected being the higher ranked team. They should be favored for a reason.
Yes. This year it is 8-3 straight up, 7-4 against the spread for those who are keeping track at home. That'll do it for this episode of Better Day. Be sure to follow us on social media as college football season has come to a close. Congratulations to Indiana on winning the national championship. Congratulations to all of you who tailed us all throughout the college football season, where we finished 72% on our picks, up 27 units. So just an incredible season for us. We look forward to the next season, but we also look forward now to getting more into college basketball, the NBA, obviously, the NHL, which we continue to crush, and eventually Major League Baseball. So this is the time right now to jump on board with us at betterday.com. Exciting announcements and partnerships are coming this week for you guys, especially when it comes to college basketball. So that's something that I know you guys have been asking for. Well, we have delivered for you, like we will continue to do. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.